The moment Akbari stepped onto the hot tarmac of Islamabad International Airport, she winced. The heat pressed against her like a thick wall. Ugh! No Wi-Fi. What century is this? She muttered, adjusting her sunglasses. Her younger sister, Asghari, smiled softly. Dressed in a simple white shower kameez with a braid over her shoulder, she looked like she belonged to this land, to its rhythm. "Welcome to Pakistan," she said. "This is reality. Not a filtered Insta story." Both sisters had returned from the United States, reluctantly, at their grandfather's request. Raised abroad with modern values and digital habits, they were now expected to adjust to village life, and, even more shocking, marry their cousins, Akbar and Asghar. Their ancestral Haveli stood tall, old yet regal. As they walked past the dusty courtyard and the neem tree, Akbari clutched her designer bag tightly. "This place smells like history," she mumbled. Asghari laughed. "Maybe that's the scent of roots. We've just never smelled it before." Their grandfather greeted them with open arms, tears brimming in his eyes. "My little dolls have returned. My heart is full again." He hugged Asghari warmly, and gave a gentle nod to Akbari. She offered an awkward salam and quickly moved to her room. That night at dinner, their grandmother cleared her throat and said calmly, "We've decided. The engagement will be held soon. Akbari will marry Akbar. Asghari will marry Asghar." Akbari choked on her water. "Excuse me? Without even asking us? This isn't a movie." Asghari looked down. Her silence spoke of questions, and perhaps hidden acceptance. That night, while Asghari looked at the stars from the courtyard, Akbari texted her friend in the US. "Help. They want me to marry a village guy with no Instagram. I'm dying." The tale had begun, one of tradition, rebellion, truth, and unexpected love. Grandmother sat in the courtyard sipping her karak chai, eyes sharp beneath her white dupatta. As the roosters crowed, Akbar and Asghar entered hesitantly. "It's time," she said, striking her walking stick on the floor. "Before I die, I want both my grandsons married." "Dadi, we're not ready," Akbar muttered. "You'll never be ready," she snapped. "Marriage isn't a thesis project. It's life. It begins now." In a corner room, Akbari was fixing her makeup in the mirror when Chachi entered. "You'll look like a princess in the wedding dress." Akbari rolled her eyes. "No offense, but I'm not marrying a guy who doesn't even have Snapchat." Outside, Asghari was helping with chores. Dadi called her closer. "You've met Asghar. What do you think?" Asghari blushed. "He seems nice. Quiet." Akbari overheard and laughed. "Akbar's the kind of guy who prays more than he talks." "How exciting." Dadi frowned. "At least he prays. These days, boys don't even know where the mosque is." The declaration was made. In 1 week, the engagement ceremony would happen. Akbari stormed into her room and texted. "They're insane. Marriage in 1 week. I don't even know these guys." But Asghari sat peacefully, stitching embroidery, her mind calm, as if ready to stitch her fate with her own hands. The sun poured into the courtyard like warm silk. Family members were enjoying mangoes when Kala leaned over and said, "Asghari, you're very sweet. But don't you think you belong in America more than here?" Asghari smiled politely. "I belong where my truth belongs." The silence that followed was almost deafening. Akbari smirked. "Your honesty might get you into trouble one day, you know." Asghari looked at her and replied firmly, "If someone leaves because of truth, then they were never meant to stay. Lies can win moments, not lives." Akbar stood by the wall, quietly listening. He watched the girl with the plain clothes and the bold heart. And felt his own heart shift. Asghari continued, "I don't know how to impress, but I know how to respect. I won't lie to win approval." Dadi chuckled, "Mashallah, a girl who speaks from the heart. Rare breed. Akbari tightened her jaw. This simple girl was stealing hearts, and she didn't even try. She looked at Asghari with narrowed eyes. Let's see how far your truth takes you. Asghari said nothing, but her calm gaze held a quiet fire, one that could light up an entire destiny. That morning, Akbar received an anonymous email. It was from the admissions office of a prestigious American university, a denial letter addressed to Rebecca Khan, aka Akbari. We regret to inform you that your application was rejected due to forged documents. His fingers trembled. His thoughts raced. Later that afternoon, Akbar confronted her in the courtyard. You said you studied at Harvard. I meant to. I applied, she stammered. He showed her the email. Akbari froze. I lied, she whispered. I thought you'd only respect me if I appeared perfect. He stared at her for a long moment. I wanted pride, not a performance. You thought we'd be impressed by glitter, not truth. Dottie, who had been watching silently, finally stepped forward. Young lady, a marriage cannot survive on lies. It needs roots. And only truth gives roots. Akbari's eyes welled with tears. Asghari, standing behind, didn't smile, she just lowered her gaze. This was not a competition. It was a crossroad. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the trees, the family gathered once more in the courtyard. Dottie cleared her throat. Akbar Beta, the decision is yours. The future is yours. Choose with your heart. Akbar looked at Akbari, beautiful, polished, but distant. Then at Asghari, calm, real, and unwavering. He closed his eyes, exhaled deeply, and said, I choose Asghari. The world paused. Even the birds seemed to hold their breath. Akbari blinked rapidly, then looked away. Asghari's cheeks turned red, her eyes lowered. She had never imagined herself chosen, not like this, not with all eyes watching. Dottie held their hands together. This is not just a wedding. This is a blessing, a beginning built on truth. The stars above blinked to life. Somewhere in the distance, a flute played. Two sisters. Two paths. And one heart, that finally chose truth. If her story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this is Text to Heart, where stories speak to your soul and awaken your spirit.